It's time! It is time, and guess what? This is Triple Play. I am Boomer's Daddy, and joining me, as always, is my lovely friend, my beard in crime, Mr. Al Walsh DFS. How you doing today, Al?
I'm doing great. I just got some new golf clubs today via the UPS man, so much thanks. I'm going to give an unsolicited shout out to Rock Bottom Golf. Now, I put my order in late Sunday night. Clubs got here about early, maybe like around noontime today here on this Wednesday, so big shout out to them. Got some cheap gear out there, so definitely go check them out. It is golf season, so I'm hitting the links for the first time tomorrow. I cannot be more excited. I've also got my Tampa Bay Lightning starting up their second round series against the New York Islanders here tonight, 7 o'clock. And I want to let you know, next Friday I will be unavailable to do the show because I will be at the Barclays Center in the Boogie Down for Game 4 of that Lightning versus Islanders series. So,
ooh,
yeah.
So you're telling me I got to get thanks for the week and a half notice so I can get a guest on. I will start looking for that one.
Yeah, I actually got the news last night because when I used to live in Tampa, my coach down there, Nigel Kerwin, he is the video coordinator for the Lightning. So I went to go check out tickets on StubHub last night. Now, I don't know if anybody knows this, but out there at the Barclays Center, they did not design this for hockey purposes. So there's actually a ton of limited view seats there in the arena. So all the reasonably priced ones were there. So I hit up my man Nigel, and I was like, listen, you guys get any face value seats down low? Because, look, if I decided to sit down low, I'd be paying that pretty New York dollar to be doing it. But, if I could sit down low for about $125, $150 without obstructed views, that is the way to go. So I'm going to have that, and definitely going to be a good time in the Boogie Down. Not the Boogie Down. I'm sorry. That's Brooklyn. Well, the Bronx is the Boogie Down. But in the BK, rather, I'll be there next Friday. So hopefully the Lightning are up 3-0 by the time I arrive there. Hopefully it's not a 0-3, seriously. The Islanders kind of handled the Lightning throughout the year. So we're looking to have a little changing of the guards here, if you will.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember playing, I think it was NHL 99 or something like that. I used to love playing with the Lightning. Now, granted, I had like a fantasy draft, a created team, created my own created player where I was like 6'5", 218, and I was just an absolute dominant winger. But I loved it because of the color scheme that they had. I like the black and blue, the way that kind of goes. And so that's how I started to get introduced with the Lightning. But I'm an Avs guy. We haven't been too relative over the last couple years. We were for a while. We have great starts, great and then about midway through the middle part of the year, we just kind of be like,
yeah.
So,
I was big on the Colorado Avalanche when they first came out. Of course, they had those tremendous jerseys. I mean,
they still do. They're still awesome.
Nowadays, I mean, a lot more teams in the NHL have upped their logo and their uniform game. But back in the day, the Avalanche, I mean, they were kind of the catalyst of a lot of the cool jerseys that we see nowadays. So
heck yeah, with the Sasquatch foot and oh my gosh, it was
actually
awesome.
To take it back to my Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, this is by no choice of my own. Well, actually, on the driver it was, but all my clubs, all the new clubs that I just recently got, they're all Tampa Bay Lightning colors. But the irons, I really didn't have a choice. It was just that's what I wanted to get. But the driver, I had my choice of black or blue. I said, I got to go fancy with the blue, man. So got a nice little black and blue. I'll be repping the Tampa Bay Lightning all summer long on the golf course. So gotta love that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things that is like, okay, if you've got, and this is something, I'm a Rockies fan, I'm a Thunder fan, I'm a Sooners fan, I'm an Avs fan, and I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, okay? Well, if you notice, the only ones in that group that have sustained consistent success recently have been the Thunder and the Sooners.
Okay.
Well, it's one of those things that I'm sitting there going, the Sooners, we get to the big game, and then, we just...
You get T-bowed.
Exactly.
Or you get the old Statue of Liberty play on you.
Too soon. Yeah. And that was like 8 years ago, too soon. So,
and then the guy proposes to his girlfriend cheerleader.
Oh, my God.
Could have written that any better.
This shows you how bitter we were as far as OU fans. There's a group of guys that I watch OU games with here during college football season. And literally, when that happened, we said we hope he gets divorced within a year. I don't even know if they're still together. And if they are, congratulations, good for them. But we were so bitter about that. So bitter. So
I'm going to take a look and see if they're still together, but go on. Give us the beautiful intro for today's MLB slate.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, where I was going with that was when you get a team that can sustain success, and me and Chop were kind of talking about this earlier this morning, when you get a team that can sustain success over a long period of time, i.e. in baseball, Cardinals fans, Red Sox fans recently until a couple years ago, Yankee fans, when you get a team that consistently, year in and year out is going to compete, maybe not win the title, but at least compete for a chance to have the title, you have to eat it up as a sports fan. You have to enjoy that, because there are times where you go through lulls, and I'm not quite to Boston Red Sox or Chicago Cubs fame, but the only thing that I can hold my hat on is that National League Championship pennant hanging up behind me in 2007. And we had to win 21 out of 22 games to get to that point.
Yeah.
So,
well, 2008, I had my Phillies, World Series title. That was probably my favorite. That's the only team that me and my dad liked together. So, them and Duke as well. But, I don't feel as much a kinship to Duke as I used to. And then a little later, like in consecutive years, I actually got the Bucks Super Bowl and the Lightning Stanley Cup in 2 years. So, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's whenever you get it, man. Just and I was talking to Chop, and I told Chop, I was like, as I was like, if the Cubs, if they're better this year, than you guys are, you're gonna be all butthurt. He's like, don't lump me into Cardinal fan. I was like, I'm lumping you into Cardinal fan because guess what? You're a Cardinal fan. So just like I get lumped into Dallas Cowboy fan. So,
yeah. Oh God, they're the worst.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that you're a Cowboy fan, but the show must go on.
You know what? I'm one of those guys, and we'll get into it during the NFL season. I remember the days of Quincy Carter and Drew Hutchinson, and so I'm actually a Tony Romo supporter. Now, do I think he always makes the smart plays? No, but he's in my opinion, he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. When healthy. Yeah,
I'm not a Tony. I don't hate the team. I just think, I'd say 90-95% of the fans are totally obnoxious, and I just can't deal with them on Sundays. So,
I will say this: for all the dumb, boneheaded moves that he's made as a general manager, I wouldn't want another owner other than Jerry Jones because of what he's made that team.
Yeah.
Become. Now, is he the smartest football guy in the world? Hell no. That's why I'm glad that Stephen Jones has actually taken over, all the quote unquote, behind the scenes decisions, even though, Jerry gets he's the cameraman for it, the face guy, but Stephen Jones is actually the one making the decisions. So, let me ask you a question. Now that we're on that topic, a little NFL draft that's coming up tomorrow night. Who are you guys gonna go out there and pick up, man? Who do you think?
I don't know. There's a couple. Now here's the deal. I don't want to, go. A lot of the guys that I want out there, they're probably out of our reach. Mm-hmm. But hell, if there's any way that we can go up and get Joey Bosa or Jalen Ramsey, I think that would work out tremendously.
What pick are you guys at now? Was it
9?
I was about to say, I thought it was right there close around that 10 range. You guys have I mean, we've got the 4th pick. I've heard people talk about Joey Ramsey for the Cowboys, Bosa as well, Ezekiel Elliott. So I think those are the 3 that they're really looking at, because those are the 3 that are the glaring needs for the Cowboys right now. So
Yes.
Eagles made a trade the other day. They moved up to the 2 spot in the draft. So this is the first time in a long time that I can remember that the top 2 picks have now changed hands. And I don't think I ever remember it happening before the draft has started. So it's going to be very, very fun to watch tomorrow night. Very interesting. Sam Bradford says he wanted a trade. So we'll see how all that kind of goes. I think he wants to go to San Francisco. So that would be nice.
The only one.
He wants to go. He wants to go see Chip. He likes playing with Chip. So, but we can talk about that a little bit more on Friday. Let's get to it. We got 14 games on the slate today. A lot of MLB stuff to get to. Before we get to that, I want to recap our dongs from Wednesday. You had, I'll pull it up here.
Conforto and Joey Bats.
Yep, and I think Conforto went yard that night, didn't he?
He did. Joey Bats hit one to the warning track, but you know.
Yeah, Joey Bats still had a good game. I think he had like a double and 2 RBIs.
He just didn't have a Michael Conforto game.
Yeah, no kidding. I had Chris Davis and Yasiel Puig. Davis laid an egg, but Puig actually Puig got his bomb, and I believe it was his second at bat. So that was good to see. We've only had one day where we're blank, so let's keep the streak going.
Yes.
We're not going to go over the afternoon game between the Padres and the Giants. We're going to get to the point to where these slates are going to consistently stay big throughout the week, except for on the occasional Thursdays and Tuesdays. I think is how it's going to end up going about. But Thursdays is always a split slate. Thursdays are one of my favorite days that we do in MLB DFS. And it's going to be a lot of fun. But today we've got 14 games on the docket. We've got some interesting matchups. We got a guy making his Major League debut, which I am extremely excited to actually witness and watch tonight. And we'll get to that here in a little bit. But let's start it off. We've got the Philadelphia Phillies and the Washington Nationals.
Whoa.
Jeremy Hellickson versus Gio Gonzalez. Gio's a 199 favorite. The Phillies, they came out like a house on fire in the first inning last night and touched Scherzer up for a couple runs. It was Asdrubal Herrera.
Well, Blanco had the 2-run homer right off the bat.
Okay, Blanco had the homer, and Herrera was already on base at the time. And then I think, wasn't it Franco that came in and had a double later on in the game?
Yeah, he just missed a homer by about 18 inches. Just hit off the top of the wall. So yeah, he had the eventual go-ahead RBI.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was a really good game from a baseball standpoint. Scherzer didn't hurt you. He didn't get the win, but he didn't hurt you. Right. He still, he had his strikeouts, and that's what
Velasquez actually got the win in that game.
He stayed in long enough to get the win?
That's what I saw in the final thing. I could be wrong, but I'll check again. But whatever you got to say, let it rip.
I was about to say, I don't think he had his dominant strikeout performance that he normally had.
No, that he didn't. But he only had 4.
I know he was efficient when it came down to everything. So I don't know. For bats, I look at.
If you don't know, I sure. Yeah, all right. So Velasquez did get the win last night. Ali Perez took the loss. And what was great about that too is Harper came up with a couple ducks on the pond last night. And I believe one. I'm sorry, just the guy on first base, and he had a chance to win it with the walk-off. And my boy Gomez shutting him down. I liked it. Yep. But good to see. Very good to see.
Yeah, there's some interesting matchups in this. I was going to start off with Gio Gonzalez. He's got a 1.42 ERA. But his profile for me in this game does not play for me. I don't know. I think I'm really honestly thinking about completely fading Gio tonight, just because we've seen those games where he can go out and dominate. And then we've seen those games where he just goes out and he allows a walk or two and then just gets shelled. Just to give you an idea, he's got one of the lowest soft contact rates of the night. Now, he is going up against a team that likes to strike out a lot, but I'll let you talk about your boy here in a second. It just feels like one of those nights where it's a classic letdown night for Gio.
It could be. Look, the Phils are a scrappy bunch. You know, they might not necessarily get you the win every night, but God damn it, they're going to try their hardest to do so. Last night was just a great testament to, just to how scrappy they are. Just going up against Scherzer, getting to him a little early. You got 3 runs there in the first 4 innings. Herrera got himself on base a couple times. Blanco had a tremendous night last night, 3 for 4, 2 runs. He had the two-run homer there in the first inning last night. We're not going to see Ryan Howard tonight because our platoon boy, Darren Ruff, is in the lineup, batting cleanup tonight. And a cleanup batter at first base for minimum price on FanDuel, $2,000, is exactly where I'm looking tonight. Got a couple stats here from Ruff against Gio Gonzalez. He is 9 of 26 in his career, 6 extra base hits, 3 homers, 9 RBIs, 8 walks, which is sort of crucial as well. But only 4 strikeouts in those 26 at-bats. The OPS number is great. It's 1.293. He's slugging 808 off Gio as well. I mean, for me, this is kind of a no-brainer. Now, weather was supposed to be an issue with this game tonight. It is not an issue anymore. I'm taking a look at the hourly rain here. There's no rain going to be coming anywhere near this game. It looks like it'll all... Actually, it doesn't even look like there's going to be rain in D.C. at all tonight. Maybe tomorrow afternoon, but obviously that doesn't take shape today. I love Darren Ruff today. Now, there are a couple other Phillies who have struggled against Gio in their career who are in the lineup today. Odubel Herrera is batting leadoff today. He is only 1 of 5 off of Gio. Ryan Howard's out of the lineup. We don't have to worry about him. I believe, Cesar Hernandez is in the lineup today. He struggled against Gio. Only 3 of 13, 5 strikeouts career. Maikel Franco, he's batting third tonight. He's 0 of 8. 3 Ks against Gio in his career. Peter Borjos also in, Borjos batting 9th tonight. But again, 3 of 19 against Gio, 6 strikeouts. So I don't know that I necessarily agree with you that this could be, a slumping night for Gio. I mean, he has shown the prominence over the Phillies over the course of time. I think the Nationals are going to bounce back very nicely tonight after being, kind of stunned last night by this Phillies team. And, I do like Darren Ruff to get a solo shot tonight, though. So at minimum price, I'm certainly going to take that shot.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't with Jake Arrieta, with some of these other guys on the slate. It's one of those things that I can't put, especially for cash games. I might take a shot in a tournament. I think he's going to be highly owned because anybody pitching against the Phillies usually is. That goes into a part of it. But a big thing is with, you talk about some of those numbers. I'm looking at I'm looking at Darren Ruff. I love him. I'm looking at Freddie Galvis. Carlos Ruiz has some good numbers against him as well. Look, if Herrera and Galvis can get on in front of Franco and Ruff, this could be. I'm not saying that he's going to get rocked, like allowing 9 runs and stuff like that, but he could end up going the way that Jeremy Hellickson's been pitching. Lately, he could go out and I could see this game being 6-5 and Gio not getting the win or striking out close to 10 batters tonight.
Or now you brought up Arrieta. When we get to that Cubs game, I'm going to tell you why he is 100% fade for me tonight.
Okay. Okay.
When we get there, and that's a nice little teaser. That's showmanship, gents.
Segue. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But I do like their ISO splits, their WOBA splits against lefties this year, and I absolutely love a $2,000 first baseman hitting cleanup with great numbers. So, Can we say he owns Gio? So
Sure. Oh yes.
Anyways, all right, let's go move on to the next game here. We've got the
wait.
Oh,
I got some Nationals. I think it's a Bryce Harper night tonight. I don't want to go off this one narrative, but he had the chance to win the game last night and he failed, and I could see him coming out pretty pissed off tonight. When we get to our dawn calls of the night, he can certainly be up there in the discussion. But I do think that this is a great night to pay up for Bryce Harper.
Okay. I don't mind that. I like a pairing with him and Michael Taylor or Anthony Rendon. If you want to
David Murphy's been stroked too.
David Murphy, he's absolutely just been killing it.
He can't stop hitting doubles.
Oh, no kidding. And especially because his price doesn't change. His price is still $3.5K. And I think the only reason that he's not creeping up there, I love David Murphy as a cash game second baseman. I think there's one cheaper that we will get to. Or sorry, not David Murphy, Daniel Murphy. I think there's a cheaper second baseman that we will get to a little bit later on for cash games that's in just as good of a spot. But I still don't mind paying up for him, especially if you've got Bryce Harper and Michael Taylor in that lineup as well. So
Sure. All right.
Anything else?
No, that'll do.
All righty, let's go to Chicago and Toronto. Jose Quintana versus Marco Estrada. This game is actually very intriguing for me because I like a lot of I can see a lot of different things happening. You know me, I'm a Jose Quintana kind of guy. I love rostering him. I just don't know if I like rostering him in the Rogers Center facing the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that's not a good one.
So, but I mean, we said that there is in no way, shape, form, or fashion am I comparing Jose Quintana to Chris Sale. But we saw what Sale did to the Blue Jays yesterday.
Yeah, if you want to get really crazy, I would probably say, I don't want to say the lowest ownership percentage of the night on pitchers because that's ridiculous, because you could just say it could be the guy from Pittsburgh or Colorado tonight, whoever the hell's pitching. But I kind of liked it. I think this is a very sneaky play because, a lot of people are going to say, Toronto's not going to get swept by the White Sox. Aren't they? Jays aren't playing the greatest baseball right now, so I can certainly see this. Happening. Marco Estrada, no slouch in his own right on the other side either. I think we're going to see a lot tighter of a ball game than a lot of people think.
Yeah, I can definitely see it.
Now, will that equate to a Quintana win? I don't know, but in a GPP, absolutely, I would sure as hell take that chance.
Yeah, I definitely would. Look, we've seen it. This Blue Jays offense, even though they're starting to come around a little bit, they're not the Blue Jays offense that we're going to see when June, July, August gets cranked up in here and the Rogers Center gets a little bit warmer and that ball starts flying out of that stadium.
Do you know who has the 8th lowest batting average in the majors against left-handers?
The Toronto Blue Jays do.
Ding, ding, ding.
So, which is very odd, but and that's something that, when you start to analyze these numbers and you start to look at, you have to decide, are you going to put more weight on what's been going on recently, or are you going to put more weight over what their track record is, which their track record shows they absolutely mash lefties, especially in that stadium. Right. But that's where you going and actually watching some of these at-bats, that'll help pay off, because they don't look good. They don't look comfortable at the plate right now against the lefty. Now, on the one exception is Troy Tulowitzki has absolutely started to turn his season around. He's traditionally a slow starter. We saw his price dip below 3,000 for, I've never seen Tulo below 3,000, and he's back up to 3,900. I think in tournaments, if you are not playing Troy Tulowitzki as part of a Blue Jays stack, I think you're kind of doing yourself a disservice, because we have all these new players that have never seen him at this price point before outside of Coors Field.
Yeah, I mean, he's jumped all the way up. I mean, I don't want to say jumped all the way up, because this is probably where he should be priced. But 3,900 is his price right now. I guess earlier in the week he was at 3,100, 3,500. I believe he was at yesterday. So, he's creeping up there a little bit. Another interesting stat, and it kind of goes into both. We talked about this team just a short while ago, but Blue Jays, 5th lowest OBP against left-handers. Philadelphia Phillies, the worst by far OBP against left-handers, and they're also batting 159 against lefties as well. So just something to keep in mind. Yeah, look, I'm tending to, and this is weird, but I mean, for GPPs anyway, I don't mind going with Quintana. I don't mind fading some Blue Jays tonight. I just think that, I don't know, I feel like a lot more people out there are going to try to
go to the old narrative
and be like, listen, this isn't going to be a sweep. The Jays are going to come out swinging tonight. I don't know. I don't necessarily know that I agree with that. I mean, Quintana, he's looked pretty damn awesome this year, and I'm willing to go with him more on that than these Blue Jays bats. And you were just talking about it. They seem a little uncomfortable. I've watched a lot of Blue Jays games this year because I've had a lot of Blue Jays in my lineup, and that's why I haven't been winning so much. But, it looks like they're comfortable at least one at-bat a game, and that's it. And then the other at-bats, they look, like they're on one foot up there. Yeah. So I just, Quintana's that kind of guy that can keep you off balance. And, with these antsy Jays, I like some Quintana. I do.
Yeah. One little note here is Russell Martin is back in the lineup tonight. That doesn't mean a lot as far as offensive wise, but that is something to take into consideration if you're thinking about rostering Marco Estrada, because Russell Martin is one of the best catchers in Major League Baseball as far as receiving and framing a pitch, which very, very much so 100% helps out his pitchers. So I think that is a very, very, especially with the young pitcher, I think that's a very, very, not sneaky or because it's not going to help you offensively, but it's something to take into consideration when these guys aren't pitching to their normal battery mate and they're not as comfortable. That's why you see guys like John Lester and David Ross paired up all the time. R.A. Dickey and Josh Tolley are another one. Greg Maddux used to have his own personal catcher that followed him around from team to team. These guys are comfortable, and they just it's a head thing, but they just pitch better to their own catchers. So I like the fact that Russell Martin's back in that lineup, because I do have a little bit of interest in Marco Estrada tonight as well.
All right, couple BVP numbers here. Donaldson, 3-9 against Quintana lifetime, got a home run. Encarnacion, 413 off Quintana, got himself a home run. Tulo, 1-3 off of Quintana. A couple other guys. I mean, you got Michael Saunders, 2-5 against him career. Ryan Goins, 2-3 in his career. So nothing too telling there. But, if you like the fact that Donaldson and Encarnacion have gone yard off Quintana, then I will not stop you.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing to kind of touch on in this game is, unfortunately, Matt Dominguez is not. He's been up in the majors now for 5 days, and he's still not in the player pool on FanDuel. So you are losing a 6-hole bat, and not that a lot of people would play him anyways, but I want people to have that option, because I don't think, whether they're doing it or not, I want people to be able to have the opportunity to make mistakes, if that makes any sense. That don't do their research, that just go in and plug. So I just think it's kind of bad. So,
I think in baseball, if you're playing, if you're doing that now, there was a time in life when I did it where I would just be like, "Ooh, he looks good," but I think with baseball, I think a lot more people do their due diligence than not.
okay. I tend to disagree sometimes, or
That's okay. This is America, baby.
Yep. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. We've got the Battle of the Braves. The former Boston Braves are going to be taking on the now current Boston Red Sox. It's Atlanta and Boston. This is one of those home and home series. They just got done playing 2 in Atlanta. Now they're flying up to Boston and playing at Fenway Park. And
Great time.
Yeah, no kidding. Let me ask you a question here. Stephen Wright's a -200 favorite. Okay,
Right.
He absolutely dominated the Astros with that knuckleball the last time out. Are you going to go back to the well on this one? Or are you going to go not back to the well? Are you going to dabble in the well, I should say, on this one?
I could. I don't mind it. Look, for a team. Now, this is kind of crazy because the National League, for whatever reason, they just really haven't had a knuckleballer, like a significant knuckleballer that they deal with a lot. So
Since R.A. Dickey left the Mets.
True. I just don't think that, well, here's another. Atlanta struggles with fastballs and changeups and curveballs. So how the hell do you think they're going to do against a knuckleball?
I'm going to give you a trivia question here real quick on the Atlanta Braves.
Sure.
Do you know how many home runs they have hit as a team this season?
I believe 2.
3, but very good guess. When I saw that, I was absolutely flabbergasted.
They must have hit one when I was out not watching Baseball Tonight one night or something. So.
They hit 2 on opening day and then 1 a couple days later, and or like a week later, and haven't hit 1 since.
All right.
So it is.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, believe me, I'm not impressed by these guys at all. And you know me. I like to find me a value pitcher. Wright is certainly that guy. We take a look at his starts this season. 50 FanDuel points, 30 and 32 for 6,900. Yeah, you can certainly intrigue a brother.
Okay.
I will say though, 5 walks his last start, so that's the one negative.
Yeah, and luckily now if you're playing DK, I definitely wouldn't do it because those walks do come back to hurt you as far as negative points. But since walks don't hurt you that much on FanDuel, unless that walk ends up scoring, then I don't mind it at all because we've seen it, and we've seen it over time with Tim Wakefield. When that knuckleball dances in Fenway Park, it can be lethal, and when it's not, it could be a long night, and these Braves could end up peppering peppering that monster a lot tonight. Monster. Sorry, I don't have the northeastern slang going on.
That's okay. That's why I'm here. Remember, I'm your pronunciation guy.
Yep, you sure are. So
you run the show, I run the pronunciations.
As far as Boston Red Sox bats,
yeah,
I'd like to know where you're going with this one.
Well, we see Bud Norris tonight, 1-3 this season, 6.75 ERA. We have a ton of Red Sox that have a nice career against him. We'll start it off with Brock Holt, 4.10. David Ortiz has 2 bombs off him. He's 4.15 in his career. Dustin Pedroia, 6-16, got 3 extra base hits. And then Hanley Ramirez, 8-17 off of him with the bomb. No strikeouts in those 17 appearances. Now, out of all the guys that I just talked about, David Ortiz has struck out 3 times. I mean, nobody's really striking out against Bud Norris. Yeah, you can certainly intrigue me with some Red Sox bats. Now, I know Ortiz, he kind of got a couple days off there since they were playing in Atlanta, batting back in his usual cleanup role after Travis Shaw had a nice night there last night. I can certainly see Poppy, being a little bit rejuvenated with the days off, so I like that play a lot. I mean, look, pretty much certainly everybody's in play here tonight. 1 through 7 for me, and if you want to get crazy with Jackie Bradley Jr., go right the hell ahead.
Yeah, just to give you a little bit of background on Stephen Wright, he's got a 1.40 ERA this year. His Sierra is a 4.15. So he's due to regress and regress hard, but I don't think that regression is coming at the hands of the Atlanta Braves.
Hell no.
So I think you can every Boston Red Sox, in my opinion, is in play. I love Hanley Ramirez as a contrarian tournament play because you can't play both him and David Wright or David Ortiz in the same lineup since they're both first basemen. You're saving $700, and he's got some good numbers against Bud Norris.
Hey, do you remember on Monday how much I loved Julio Teheran?
Yeah.
Yeah, did pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Didn't get the win, but did pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that Stephen Wright's your Julio Teheran?
Could be. I mean, he's not my favorite pitcher on the slate for minimal money, but I do like him tonight. I'm very intrigued, as any team going against the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, let's go to the next game here. Cincinnati Reds versus New York Mets. We've got John Moscott going against the Dark Knight of Matt Harvey.
That nickname bothers me so much.
Yeah, he's...
Like, what does he do that makes him Batman? Nothing. Like, I don't get it. It makes no sense. It's like if people wanted to call me Clark Kent, you know? Like, I don't like Superman. I don't wear red and blue all the time. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, but he's embraced it. So
I know. I don't know where the nickname, it just doesn't make sense. It's not like he has this, like, Batman fixation or anything like that. And I know people like to call New York Gotham. Gotham's a fictional town, people. All right, you're going way off base on this one.
So is whatever that is.
Metropolis.
That's it.
Jeez. See, pronunciation.
Yeah, I'm horrible when it comes to this.
All right, let's talk about the Dark Knight.
I don't know, man.
That nickname.
I don't know. I'm torn. I definitely can see it in tournaments, but I'm not so sold that I'm going to really be playing any Matt Harvey tonight.
Here's the one stat, well, the two stats that we need to look at. Matt Harvey, 22 innings pitched this year. He's got 27 hits against him and 14 strikeouts. That is not a pitcher trending in the right direction. That is not a pitcher that deserves a high top dollar contract coming up soon. These are stats that really scare the shit out of me, to be quite honest with you. Now, is Harvey due for a good start? Sure. I'm just not trying to pay $9,300 to see if that's going to be tonight. Now, I know he is going against Joey Votto, who recently is basically like an automatic for 3 strikeouts. But tell you the truth, I mean, this Cincinnati team they've battled this whole series so far. On Monday night there against Syndergaard, they did a great job, just putting the bat on the ball. And then, last night against Bartolo, they had the 3-0 lead, and then, they left Finnegan in to face Cespedes, which was a questionable decision to say the least. But I digress. I don't mind some Cincinnati hitters tonight. I was actually very gung-ho on Barnhart tonight, the catcher. But they decided to go with Mesoraco for whatever reason, so that thought is down the drain. Barnhart was there at like 2,100, I believe, too. Guy's been raking doubles like crazy lately. So it's not going to be a Joey Votto for me tonight. I'm still not comfortable with him. But Zach Cozart, Suarez, Schleiber, he's not doing too bad against righties this year. Understatement. But yeah, I think maybe like a little 1-4-7 from the Reds wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Just to touch up on what you were saying about Harvey. And out of that 22 innings pitched and 14 strikeouts, he's also allowed 13 earned runs. He's got a BABIP over 350. He's got a K percentage of only 14.3, which is horrible. Compared to Harvey, it's just he's not looked like the same pitcher since he got touched up in Game 5 of the World Series last year. So
he didn't get touched up. It was that last inning that. And look, every gamer wants to be out there and go for the complete game, but he got touched up there in that last inning. Now, again, this is not me being the Met hater that I always am, but look, the numbers don't lie. He's just not striking people out. He's giving up a ton of hits, earned runs. I mean, he's rated very highly on all the projections today, and I don't agree with it for that price tag. If you want to bring that price tag down to like $8,000 somewhere in that area, okay, we'll start to think about it. But at 9,300, get out of my face with that stuff right now, please.
Yeah, I kind of tend to agree with you on that one. Now, with that said, you know, can he go out and have a good game? Yes, sure. But the way that he's looked this year, the talent, we're not questioning the talent. What we are saying is that he has not shown any signs of being the same pitcher that he was last year.
No.
So,
now, he's only had one start at home this year. That was against the Phillies, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 strikeouts in that one. I mean, we'll take that for what it's worth. But I will tell you this. I have been to Citi Field when Harvey's been on the mound. It's an electric atmosphere, so I don't know. Maybe he gets a jolt of energy from that tonight, but I'm just not banking on it. He also hasn't made it past 6 innings this season so far either. Let's talk about some Mets bats because there's certainly some interest for me there. De Aza batting leadoff tonight at the minimum. 2,000. I like that a lot.
Yes, sir. I absolutely love it. I mentioned him the other day, and I can't remember what he did. Pulling it up here.
I remember you mentioning him, and I kind of poo-pooed
it. It looks like he had a single. He had a hit. That was about it. But he didn't blank, which is a good thing. But yeah, hit in front of that not Murderer's Row, but very, very close to Murderer's Row. Now, one thing I don't understand is how Yoenis Cespedes can come off the bench, end up hitting a home run, and then he's not in the lineup again today.
Yeah, they probably just want to get him some rest. I was watching some of that game last night, and they were talking about it, and they said, you know, if this case were similar, you know, like, why would you give Michael Conforto the start and you didn't give it to Cespedes? And it just looks like they want to get him some rest, which, you know, I don't mind early in the season. Not a bad thing to have. Maybe there's a little bit of a lingering injury issue that we're not aware of, but I know it's a little nuts. I agree, but it just looks like they're trying to get him some rest, and that's all.
Okay. Yeah, it was a little bit. I know he had that knee issue, tendonitis. I think he got his knee drained earlier this week or late last week. I didn't understand how. Look, if the dude's hurt and he got his knee drained, and you can't use him. Don't use him, but don't. You know, I guess there's not a lot of running that needs to be done when you come in and you hit a laser like he did and get to trot around the bases.
Yes. So. Great moment for him and the Mets the other night, which made me sick to my stomach. But yeah, I mean, look, we got plenty of bats here to talk about for the Mets. I know Neil Walker, he's atop every single projection system tonight at second base, so that's making me think, hey, let's have some Neil Walker in my life.
Yeah, I love Neil Walker. He's actually my top second baseman of the night. He didn't really prove anything last night, but you know, guys are going to have offers in baseball.
He was also batting right-handed, which is not his power strength.
Exactly. You know, I don't mind Lucas Duda, Michael Conforto, Asdrubal Cabrera. I love that 3 through 6 spot in that Mets lineup, and that's going to be one of my I'm going to try to fit in that stack in multiple teams tonight.
Yeah, it kind of makes me sick because, you know, the Mets, you know, me being a lifelong Philly fan, you know, the Mets have had some great players over the years, and I remember Jose Reyes. He was a guy that I really liked, and, you know, unfortunately he played for the Mets. I like the way he played the game. And then Michael Conforto, he has one of the most smooth swings I've ever seen in my entire life.
You mean outside of Carlos Gonzalez, right?
Well, not last night. Hello. But yeah, I mean, you know, Conforto this is a guy that can just put the bat on the ball, look great doing it. And, you know, now that Citi Field's kind of been restructured a little bit, it's not as much of a pitcher's park as it used to be. You know, that right field really favors the hitters out there for the lefties. So definitely want to have you some some Michael Conforto tonight against Moscot, who, we've only seen limited numbers from him. Again, not somebody that I'm trying to avoid by any stretch of the imagination. But, a Mets stack seems pretty damn good tonight to me.
Yep, absolutely. I do like it a lot.
Okay.
Do you have any interest in any Reds bats?
Yeah, I certainly do. Like I said, I think Cozart's not a bad idea. Suarez isn't bad at all. I'm still staying off Joey Votto until he proves himself to me. He's like, why do I have to prove myself to Al Walsh? I don't know. I think Schleber's not a bad idea there at 7. And, again, I really don't like rostering 9-hole hitters, but if Billy Hamilton can get on base, he can definitely get you some stolen bases off of this Mets team. So the Mets are one of the worst teams in the league for allowing stolen bases. It's just, how often do guys get on base against them?
Yeah, I do agree with you 100% on that one. There's going to be some interesting moves that are made as far as lineup decisions, especially as we start getting into these later games that have a little bit of the weather issues that we need to discuss. But I absolutely I like Joey Votto and Zach Cozart a lot from the Reds, and if you want to throw Eugenio Suarez in there as well, you can, but I really like Cozart and Votto tonight.
Couple numbers real quick. Cozart, 4 of 8 career off Harvey with 2 doubles, 1 strikeout. Ivan DeJesus, 2 of 5, 2 doubles against Harvey, and that's really all you need to know.
Yep. Actually, Joey Votto, I think, is 4 for 14 with the dong. That's
3 of 9, 4 strikeouts.
Okay, there you go. Well, yeah, the strikeouts
and a homer, and a home.
But yeah, he has had a home run, so that's one of the things I'm looking at. Has he had the ability to take him deep? Because if you're going to play anybody from the Reds, you've got to be able to at least get some power, in my opinion, because that's where Harvey's going to get hurt, where he's going to allow a walk, a double. Guys are going to be on second and third with 1 no or 1 outs, and I'm hoping that Votto can touch him up for a deep one. So if that could all come to fruition, as I become as I can become the DFS Nostradamus, then that would be fantastic.
Yep.
So, all right, let's go on to the next game. Baltimore Orioles and Tampa Bay Rays. Here we go again. Chris Tillman versus the Rays, and Matt Moore versus the Orioles.
Yeah.
Lock and load, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I was going to say, Adam Jones has had a very good career here against Matt Moore. That was the one that really stuck out to me.
Yep.
That really stuck out to me today. Adam Jones, where are you? 11 of 24, 3 extra base hits, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. That's a 458 average, OPS of 1.250. That's certainly where I'm going to kick off my exposure to this game. Certainly we can go in a lot of other different places. Evan Longoria is batting .333 off Tillman, 17 of 51, 11 extra base hits. That is tremendous. 7 home runs, 10 RBIs. Wowzers.
Got him earlier in the year.
Yep, it sure did. That is a good spot to start with Evan Longoria and Adam Jones tonight.
Yep, that's some BVP numbers to work in your favor. I don't mind Logan Forsythe in this matchup as well. Obviously, if we're talking about hitters and not even touching on the pitchers, look, I normally love Matt Moore. I love playing, but the Orioles seem to have his number. It's one of those things. Matt Wieters is 8 for 17 with 2 bombs and 3 RBIs against him with 3 walks. Yeah, it's 8 strikeouts, but you still gotta. So 8.
I guess it hurts less if it's like a robbed homer. Coughlin Upton last night.
He's either gonna touch him up or he's gonna strike out, because it doesn't look like he's gonna walk a lot with him. But Matt Wieters doesn't walk a lot to begin with. Let's see here. JJ Hardy, I know it's only 6 for 25. but he does have a homer and 5 RBIs. The one that was very, very interesting with me was the fact that Manny Machado is only 3 for 16 against Matt Moore. 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 1 RBI, but it doesn't really look like Machado, for whatever reason, Machado doesn't really seem to see the ball out of Matt Moore's hand that well. So if I am going Orioles, it's going to be of those top 4 or those top 3. It's going to be Hardy, Jones, and Wieters that I talked about, but that's probably going to be about it.
All right, now I'm assuming no interest in either pitcher from this game, correct?
Nope, not tonight. There'll be other days where I can play Matt Moore.
Sure. All right, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, Longoria looks mighty attractive in this one. I mean, 7 homers and 51 at bats. How could you hate that?
Yep, absolutely. So, are you interested in Corey Dickerson?
Love me some Dick Dong usually. I had him last night. He got a hold of one that first at bat, didn't quite get out there, but after that, they were too scared to even give him an approachable ball. So hopefully he gets some of those tonight, but I don't know I'm going to go the route of Dickerson tonight. I got some other thoughts here.
Okay. Let's see here. I lost my spot on the page. Oh, okay. Athletics and Tigers. Sonny Gray versus Justin Verlander. If we can roll back the clock on Justin Verlander and get him about 4 years ago, this would have been the premier matchup as far as pitchers going against each other on the night. Unfortunately, we don't have that ability. And
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Once we get that Series A funding, there's no stopping us.
No kidding. And this is a game where I am looking for value, especially on the Oakland Athletics lineup.
Oh, yes. We got to start it off with my favorite cereal, Cocoa Crisp. He's got some tremendous numbers here against Verlander. He is 10 of 27, 3 extra base hits, got himself a homer, 4 RBIs, only 3 strikeouts. But, look, this A's team, they're not necessarily mashing you to death. They're kind of dinking and dunking you. But I've been looking for a spot to roster Cocoa Crisp, and it appears as though I've finally found it. 2,600 tonight, batting leadoff. That's multi-platinum. That is where you need to be, my friends.
Yes, it is 100% one of those. You can't go wrong with that sort of sample size at 2.6K. He's gonna score runs. He plays hard. He's possibly gonna get you at least 1 or 2 stolen bases tonight, because we know that. Wait, who is Bobby Wilson?
Bobby Wilson?
Bobby Wilson is catching for the Tigers tonight.
Okay. No idea, but that's probably a good thing for Cocoa Crisp.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with that. So, I think that his floor is about as high as they come for a 2.6K guy in the outfield.
Yeah, I love it. That's certainly somewhere I'm going to be tonight.
So, okay, let's talk about another guy. We already talked about a first baseman that was $2,000 that you absolutely love. May I see your Darren Ruff and raise you a Billy Butler?
You certainly can. Where's Billy Butler at?
Billy Butler is at 2.2K. Now he is
expensive for me.
He is batting in the 6th hole. But let me interest you in some numbers. Okay, 84 at bats, 34 hits, 2 home runs, 15 RBIs, 9 walks, and only 13 strikeouts. He's got a WOBA of .438 with an ISO of 131.
Oh my!
If you don't like if you need a large sample size to believe in BVP, believe in this. Because this is a large sample size. If Evan Longoria's sample size against Chris Tillman is still not big enough for you, see Billy Butler.
Athletics and Tigers and Bears. Oh my.
No kidding.
Yeah, we got some goodness here. I'm gonna now. I could see where Butler would be a little more safe because I feel like if you go with Ruff, as soon as Gio's out of the game, that means that Ryan Howard's probably going to step into Ruff's spot. So I don't mind that. I mean, look, as long as Ruff gets on base, he's basically paid off in value. Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all.
Okay. I don't think that Billy Butler, if they bring in a lefty, I don't know. I don't think that
there's nobody on that bench that really, that would do better than Butler. Maybe Vogt could step in there, but I would probably see him more or less going in for Fegley.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I got again, it's also going to depend on the spot and where this game is. How about our boy Marcus Semien last night? Hit his league-leading 5th home run in the 9-hole this year. Now, league leading in the 9th hole, not
overall, exactly.
Right. So I found that stat very interesting. But yeah, I mean, he's a guy that gets it done there in the 9-hole, and he don't need the max amount of at bats to get it done.
There you go. I mean, you can't at some point you can't deny production. And I think that these guys that they don't look at guys if they're underneath the 6-hole. Now for cash games, I can see a lot of the reasoning behind it. You want the max number of plate appearances to get the max number of points, or to be able to maximize your ability to score points. But you can't deny production, in my opinion. And especially in tournaments where you need 290s when McCutchen goes for 3 bombs. To be able to win tournaments, you can't deny production. And if you can get it on the cheap at 2.5K at shortstop, I mean, why not?
I won't deny production.
I mean, if you just look at just for the season, I mean, he's got, I just had it here. He's got a 239 ISO against right-handed pitching this year. He's got 3 of his 5 home runs against right-handed pitching, and he's crushing it, and I can't deny it. Not for that cheap.
Let it fly, my friend. Let it fly.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, let's go to the Tigers bats. They are facing Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray is one of the better pitchers in the league right now. When I looked at this, the only thing that really stood out was the fact that Miggy is 3 for 6 with a home run and 2 RBIs. That seems to be over like 2 games. So maybe a 2 for 5 and a 1 for 4, or a 2 for 4 and a 1 for 4 type appearance, or 1 for 3. It's something kind of along those lines. Not bad. But if I'm playing Miguel Cabrera tonight, it's not because of those numbers.
Nah, I'm not a fan of anybody really on Detroit tonight. I mean, Sonny Gray is a guy that induces a ton of ground balls, and just in terms of fantasy, yeah, maybe somebody might get into one, but overall, it's something that I typically want to avoid.
Yeah. Now for tournaments, like especially large field tournaments like the shot or the squeeze, or the squeeze or the
Don't you talk dirty on the airwaves?
Whatever those are, where there's like 55,000 people that you're playing, stacking the Tigers against Sonny Gray, and if they go off, that's something that's going to catapult you to the top of the leaderboard. So that's about the only place that I would really kind of suggest it, maybe. But other than that, I don't have any interest in Detroit Tiger bats tonight.
Sure.
So, all right, let's go on to the next one. Yankees and Rangers. Well, the Weathermen are 3-0. 3-0 on screwing us on these games that are supposed to get postponed or delayed, and they haven't even been delayed the freaking single minute.
We'll start to see it. It's still a little early.
I know, it just chaps my ass because the Rangers went off again last night.
Yep.
So maybe the early trend is when the Weathermen think there's going to be a possibility for a delay or a postponement, you just stack the hell out of that game and pray to God that somebody's not doing a rain dance.
Yeah. Shit, man. We got some good bats here. Now, this is Texas you're talking about, correct?
Yes.
All right. So yeah, I mean, we got plenty of good things here. I didn't think I saw any. I don't think there's any weather delays here tonight, right?
Not here. I'm talking about yesterday.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to carry it over. I got you.
No,
All right.
no. I was talking about yesterday when all these like wind and hail and stuff, all the weather that I got last night, it was supposed to hit Texas and the Dallas-Fort Worth area earlier in the evening and possibly postpone this game, at least send it into a delay. And of course it didn't, and they didn't, and they played, and Texas went off.
Yeah.
So
all right, so we got CC going for the Yankees today. He's been a little bit hit or miss. I think the 1 through 4 hitters. I mean, we got Ian Desmond here, who's batting cleanup tonight, which is kind of interesting. But
he's starting to swing the bat a lot better, and he's
only 3,100. He's been bopping big time lately.
Yeah.
Raced about 4 of his last 6 games. He's been doing very well here. 3 homers in that span as well. Got 3 runs twice in the last 4 games. Also 3 stolen bases in the last 4 games as well. So, yeah, he's certainly a guy that's on the radar tonight. Got the lefty-righty matchup. Him batting cleanup, though, it's not what I expected to see from him, but I'm not going to hate it.
Yeah, I actually love the play. He's swinging the bat a lot better. He's hitting the ball really, really hard over the last 7 to 10 games. The big thing that kind of jumps out to me in this is that somebody is taking a look at the numbers. When you sit there and you take a look at Prince Fielder, he's only 5 for 19. Not bad, but not great against CC. Prince needs a night off, so why not against a lefty? Now, it is just still CC Sabathia, but the biggest thing that jumps out to me as far as BVP numbers in this one is Elvis Andrus is 10 for 22 against CC Sabathia, and I really, really, really don't mind stacking against CC at all. I haven't in the last 2 years.
I don't mind it, but there are times where he comes out and you're like, damn, there's the CC, like the good CC that we all remember.
Yep.
So I'm not, number one, I'm not scared of it. I'm just saying, obviously, something crazy could happen, but I really do like Ian Desmond. That's a guy that I feel I need to have in my lineup tonight.
Yep. What about Ryan Rua batting in the 5th hole at 2K?
What about him? No, I saw his numbers against CC. He's 2 for 3. I don't know. There's not enough there for me to go off of.
Even at minimum salary?
Yeah, even at minimum salary. I mean, I need to see a little more from you, Mr. Rua. I'm sorry.
Yeah, look, I think if you're going to fit in pitchers like Jake Arrieta and feel confident about your lineup, you're going to have to find a couple, one or two bare bone minimum price guys, and I think in a great RBI spot like the 5 hole, batting in front of Ronette Odor, who's absolutely just been crushing the ball lately. He could see a couple pitches, and I think CC's going to challenge him. And CC has been known to leave the ball up in the zone, and he has been known to be touched up. So I don't mind it at all. What about Yankees?
Oh, what about those Junkies? Junkies, best ball. We got going tonight. Martin Perez, guy that induces a lot of fly balls. I don't see a Yankees lineup yet, so not totally sure, but I guess a Starlin Castro here would work. Maybe even it's a share off the right side. I don't know. I got to see this Yankees lineup first before I go into anything.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is that Martin Perez, he doesn't strike out a lot of people. He does walk a lot of people. His walk percentage is higher than his strikeout percentage, which that ain't good, folks. I don't know how much you guys know about them sabermetrics, But when you have a higher walk percentage than a higher strikeout percentage, and your strikeout percentage is still over 10, that ain't good. So I have no problems when that lineup comes out, picking and choosing my spots and trying to go up against going up against them. I like Carlos Beltran, Michael, or not Michael, Starlin Castro, Mark Teixeira. You know, I like both of those guys. So,
all right, yeah, the Yankees have limited. You know, the combined their total roster right now 9-26 off Perez, homer, 5 RBIs. I don't know. There's really not one that stands out to me. I don't know. I guess A-Rod's going to be in the mix tonight. He would certainly be an interesting play with the lefty-righty, but again, I need to see this lineup.
Yeah, I'm hoping that A-Rod's in the lineup because I think that's a very, very, very good tournament play, especially being back in Texas and having some good history. I'm just not sure if he's going to be playing tonight. So, all right, let's go to the next game. Milwaukee Brewers and Chicago Cubs. Jake Arrieta and Taylor Youngman and Mr. Al Walsh. I'm going to leave the floor to you because you told me that Jake Arrieta was a complete fade tonight.
Yes.
I'm telling you that he is a -320 favorite.
Yeah. That's fine.
Tell me why.
Sometimes Mother Nature is not going to cooperate with you. Yeah, the forecast for Chicago tonight looks like there's going to be rain all night. Now, granted, that could be a good thing for a pitcher, you know, if it doesn't rain too hard. But I mean, I'm looking at it right now. It says from 4:30 to, sheesh, we're looking at rain. Let me see here. Cooperate, computer, let's go. All right, cool. Yeah, we basically have rain from now all the way up until like the early morning tomorrow. So, I mean, is it going to be a constant flow of rain where it's like thunder showers and all that? I don't know, but I would rather not take this chance with Arrieta and pay up so much money. If you're doing multiple lineups, why not have an Arrieta one in there? But you know me, I go one lineup, balls to the wall. But I'm not spending all that money with all this rain in the forecast tonight on Arrieta. It just seems senseless to do so.
Yeah, as far as cash games, I think he's off limits now. Definitely 100%. And I had him plugged in just in case, just because I mean. Look, I've had people compare him to Russell Westbrook without Kevin Durant, and I'm like, whoa, wait a second here. But, you know, that weather, it kind of chaps my ass a little bit.
Yeah, you're basically looking at around 50 to 70% precipitation tonight in the forecast. And those are numbers I am not messing around with tonight.
Okay.
But if you guys want to do so and you're in the Slam and you're in all these other single entry tournaments, bring it, my friends. Bring it.
Okay. Any bats? Because I know you're not interested in Taylor Youngman. Any bats?
I have a feeling this game will just get called, so no bats.
Okay. Cleveland Indians and Minnesota Twins, and this is actually
another one.
This is another one that it is kind of there. I think this game starts in a delay, you know, and gets pushed back a little bit, which really sucks because the Twins have the #1 prospect in baseball actually starting tonight for them. Jose Barrios, he's got electric stuff. I want to watch this game as a fan. It's not quite the hype that Steven Strasburg had when he came up or anything like that. But as a baseball guy, I watched him in Target Field a couple years ago, pitch in the Futures game, and he was impressive, man. He's got over, I think it's 400 innings in the minor leagues. He's got a 2.9 ERA or something like that. So it's kind of interesting, and I'm really excited to see him throw tonight.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but here's the deal: they have a very small window to get this game into. So about 7 o'clock Central Time. Well, let me start out with this. From 5 to 6, there's a 100% chance of rain in Minneapolis. So that's not going to work. 7 o'clock, it goes down to 85%. 8 o'clock, there's a 0% chance of rain. That carries all the way through to 9 o'clock. And then 10 o'clock, we're looking at about 30% rain. So few showers, a little bit of showers. So I do have a feeling that they could get this in, but again, quite risky.
Okay. Yeah, and look, I'm just interested in this. I'm not. We've seen guys come out and absolutely dominate in their major league debuts before. We've seen guys come out, and so I'm not even interested in any of the Cleveland Indians bats. I'm only interested in Twins bats, but with the fact that they've got such a short window for this game, and the fact that it's interdivision, so they don't have to. They're not pressed to feel like they have to play this game today or tomorrow. If it gets to be a 2-hour delay, a 3-hour delay, I can definitely see them calling this. So I'm probably off all the Twins bats as well.
Yep. Yeah, the whole game. I think there's plenty of other, more advantageous options out there. So why not go with them where we know we're not going to get rained on?
Yep. All right, let's go to the Pirates and Rockies, and I'm going to chat my ass a little bit because Andrew McCutchen decided to wake up, and he hit 3 dongs last night. I had a lot of exposure to Coors Field on Pirates and on Rockies. Had a lot of good production from that game. Unfortunately, somehow, I had no Andrew McCutchen.
I did.
So, I don't know how it happened. I just know I didn't.
Yeah.
That was not the plan going in. I promise you.
Sad story. I think you could probably get away with it tonight. I think, McCutchen's ownership is going to be through the roof tonight. So, not take the chance and not roster him. He's going up against John Gray, who I'm not that familiar with, but again, I would probably take that shot and not roster McCutchen tonight just because of how great he was last night and expected ownership.
Yeah, I think his ownership's going to be through the roof.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to fade him last night, and I did. It didn't work out. I'm purposely fading him tonight.
Ooh, I like it. Now, if you jinx him, I might have to kill you because, I had him last night and it worked out well, so.
There you go. I just think his ownership's going to be way too high. Even if he only hits 1 home run, I can find guys that can hit home runs at lower ownership percentage and probably pay cheaper for it.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
As long as he doesn't go for 60 again, I think I'll be all right. Okay, a little bit of pitching breakdown as far as this. Target John Neese, yes.
No. I thought you meant like I got you. Yeah, absolutely target him.
Target John Neese, yes, and I'm hesitant for Pirates, and here's the reason why. Not because John Gray's a Sooner boy, not because he was played for Oklahoma, and not because he pitches for the Rockies, but because he only has the first inning. Usually it's the first inning that bites him, and then he's great. He allowed, I think it was, 4 earned runs or 5 earned runs in the first inning, last game, and he came back, and let's see, he allowed 5 runs on 5 innings. He only allowed 1 earned run after the first inning. The dude struck out 43% of the guys he faced.
Impressive.
He's got a fastball that is it with it. He's in the top 3 as far as average fastball velocity, and you don't usually find that from a starter. Yeah, he only had 1 start, but this was going back to last year. The guy can throw it, and he just gets himself into trouble coming out of the gate. I don't know if it's pregame jitters or nerves or whatever it is.
He doesn't like the pregame buffet.
Yeah, that spread ain't doing him well. But I don't have a lot of interest as far as Pirates bats because if he can somehow figure it out in the first inning, I don't think there's going to be a lot of production on the Pirates side for the first 6 innings. So now I'm banking on 3 innings? No.
Nah.
Not going to pay that premium price for hoping that I get 3 innings, especially at those ownership percentages.
Yeah, you got me. You got me convinced.
So, I do like. I mean, they're all over 3.6K, except for David Freese.
Yeah, I had him in my lineup last night. I said, that's too many Pirates, because I had 1, 2, 3, and yeah.
Yep. As far as the Rockies are concerned, lock and load. Trevor Story got the night off yesterday. Christian Adames, I told you, I said it as soon as he was put in that lineup. $2,500. Second. Exactly, second spot in the batting order. Everybody was calling him Adams yesterday all across the industry, and I'm like, okay, there's something you got to know about Christian Adames. He did not lose the starting job at shortstop for the Colorado Rockies. Trevor Story came into spring training and took it. Yeah. He had an amazing spring. He is a good baseball player. He hasn't had the opportunity because of what Trevor Story has been doing. Needless to say, Trevor Story got the night off. It was his first night off all year. I'm not predicting 3, but I have a feeling Trevor Story gets one again tonight.
Yeah, John Neese is a guy who I've targeted in fantasy for a long time. He gives up bombs galore. So, yeah, any right-handed Rockies bat tonight, that goes all the way from Trevor Story, Nolan Arenado, Mark Reynolds, Ryan Rayburn, and that's probably where I stop it at. But yeah, those are my wish list of right-handed Rockies hitters tonight.
Yep. I like Nick Hundley at 3.3K as one of those cheaper. He's going to be, because he's in Coors, he's gonna have an elevated ownership, but I still think he's going to be low owned. I think more people are going to go to Francisco Cervelli for $300 more.
Okay.
So next game we've got the Cardinals and Diamondbacks. We've got the ghost of Adam Wainwright versus Patrick Corbin.
Did you know that my favorite pitcher of the night is in this game?
I'm going to guess it is not Adam Wainwright.
Ding, ding, ding.
And the reason is because Patrick Corbin is normally somebody that we can actually target against, except the Cardinals suck that bad against good left-handed pitching.
Ding, ding, ding. Now, I don't know what's been going on with the Cardinals on their West Coast road trip because they've been mashing like crazy, but I think that all stops tonight. Patty Corbs, one of my favorite arms in all of baseball. Actually, the best I ever did in a baseball FanDuel tournament. Patty Corbs was on the mound. He was on the mound last year against the Braves. So I have a little bit of sentimental value with the guy. But, yeah, again, against the Cardinals tonight, who can't hit lefty pitching to save their life. Disregard the over-under of 9 in this game and feel confident with some Patty Corbs tonight. Now, I think Stephen Wright is a pretty damn good option for a little cheaper, but I can certainly see Corbs getting some strikeouts here tonight and ultimately getting the win. Yeah,
I definitely could. There's another guy I like too. A little bit later on, we'll get into it, but I definitely don't have any problems if you want to go that route, picking on these Cardinal bats. Now, Mike Matheny has got smart. He has loaded up that Cardinals lineup with right-handed bats. You got Piscotty, Holiday, Grichuk, Jericho, Tejada, and Diaz. They're all in there. The only lefty in there is Matt Carpenter, and that's kind of out of necessity. It's either Matt Carpenter or Colton Wong. Well, I trust Carpenter over Wong when it comes to that. But when you sit there and you look at it, I mean, Carpenter is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts against Corbin. So
I'm not, after the 4-hitter, I'm not scared at all at that Cardinals roster. So bring it right on.
Yep. I don't mind that at all. Look, Arrieta, he's 8.1K. I think the way that he's performing, that is still overpriced for him. This is a guy that we know he's gonna turn it around. I don't think tonight's the night. He's kind of like that Matt Harvey thing. He's got to show me something before I even believe that he's got the ability to. And until then, load me up some Diamondback Magnets.
Yes. Jean-Jean Zagura. Big fan of his this year. He's absolutely raking. I'm sure the Brewers are like, what the hell, man? Where was this while you were here? 8 of 19 off of Wainwright, 2 extra base hits. He's got a homer against them. Only 1 strikeout in those 19 at-bats, so that's something you surely want to get in on. Goldschmidt, 3 of 9 off of Wainwright. He's gone yard off of Wainwright as well. Also like Peralta here. David Peralta batting 4th in the lineup tonight. Oh, damn it. I accidentally X'd out my MLB lineups, but I'll get that back real quick. So he's certainly in the mix. Even Wellington Castillo batting 5th. I mean, this guy's been raking he's batting 6th tonight. But he's absolutely been raking. Also, Jake Lamb batting 2nd, 3rd base. Not bad value at all right there. Also get the lefty versus righty matchup too, so that'll work well.
Yep, absolutely. I can't disagree with that at all. I love Jake Lamb tonight. He's one of my sneaky plays that we've been doing over the last 4 days. Every time he's in the 2-hole, batting in front of Paul Goldschmidt in a good matchup, I roster the guy.
Yeah.
So I can't fault you at all for that if that's the way you want to go.
Good, you better not fault me or I'll crush you.
So I really do like that move a lot. Another interesting play out of this game is it's interesting that they have both Brandon Drury and Jake Lamb in, but I like Nick Ahmed. He's been producing, and he's not going to go out and produce a lot, but if you've got 2 guys in there as a Diamondback stack and you have a shortstop and you have 2.2K, you can do a lot worse than Nick Ahmed or blowing up the rest of your lineup to try to fit in some other guys. Nick Ahmed, he's going to go low owned, and he just keeps producing. He's very good. The reason he's in that 8-hole hitter is the same as DJ LeMahieu and Hechavarria. It's not that they're bad hitters. It's just that they do well in that 8-hole. And in the National League, you're going to lose some at-bats and get some intentional walks because they're going to want to face the pitcher sometimes. But in the National League, that is the hardest position in the batting order to hit from a baseball standpoint. So I think he's definitely worth a look as long as he is there. So let's go to the next game, Kansas City Royals and Los Angeles Angels. We've got we've got Chris Young versus Nick Trapiano. Normally, I would say Trapiano is in play. Unfortunately, he's facing the Royals, and the Royals do not strike out.
No.
So that means that old Traps, he's going to have to wait till his next turn in the rotation in order for me to think about rostering him again. Yeah,
shout out to Salvi Perez last night. Good game out there. Couldn't bring home the money, but damn good effort there last night. You know, he did the hardest thing in all of baseball. He hit the top of the wall by the left field pole in Anaheim last night. That wall is like 4 inches tall.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he hit the top of the wall.
That's impressive, actually.
Yeah, well, I would have liked the extra, how many ever points that I got, the extra 12 points for the homer, but I digress. Salvi's been rocking the ball lately. Take a look at his game log on the player bubble. Guy's got totals of 38, 30, 22, 6, 15 in his last 7 games, so definitely a good option that you want to take a look at there. I don't mind Alex Gordon either. He's a guy that's been doing pretty damn well lately and flying under the radar. Gordon, a guy, he's had hits here in 3 of his last 4 games. Just a guy that's not going to wow you with the stats, but for 2,700 on FanDuel, nice little fill-in for get yourself some higher price guys in the lineup.
Yep, absolutely. I do like Alcides Escobar. He's 2.4K at shortstop. I mean, he's leading off. As far as cash game shortstops are concerned, if you're going to punt the position, that's exactly where you go. He's going to get on base. He steals bases. He scores runs in front of, a lot of times in front of those big boppers. You've got you've got a team that they play the game right. They're not sexy by any stretch of the imagination, unless they're in a real big power boosting ballpark. But there's fantasy value there, and a lot of guys, they kind of just roll and scroll through the Royals, and you can usually get them at pretty low ownership numbers as well.
Sure.
So, look, we say it every time. Chris Young, he gives up a lot of hard contact and a lot of fly balls. He somehow still continues to get it done, and I don't know how.
He must have some secret inside information on somebody.
Yeah, no kidding. Look, Albert Pujols is 4 for 17 with a bomb against him. Cole Calhoun is 4 for 4 with a bomb against him. Escobar is 3 for 5. I don't mind Angels, but we've seen that stacking against Chris Young has not been a recipe for success. So if you're going to do Angels as far as in your lineup, I would limit it to maybe 2 in a lineup.
Yeah, Calhoun seems like a damn good option. So
yeah, especially sitting there at 3.2K.
Although
late night power.
4, yeah, I was going to say, although 4 for 4 is probably, the tide's going to turn at some point.
Yeah, don't be surprised if he goes 0 for 4 tonight.
Unless it's my created hitter in the show against Alex Wood, who I absolutely own 9 of 10 for in my career. I'm just saying.
There you go. Marlins and Dodgers. Justin Nicolino versus Scott Kazmir. Giancarlo Stanton versus Clayton Kershaw. Yep.
Crap almighty. Somebody put a fire extinguisher on Stanton because he's on fire.
There you go.
Homers in 3 straight for Stanton.
Yeah, he's heating up. He's heating up. If this was NBA jams, he would be on fire. So, Scott Kazmir, yes, it's a lefty, and we target Stanton against left-handed pitching. It's simple. When you talk, everybody gives. You target Clayton Kershaw in April. You fade Coors for the most part when there's weather. You just play Stanton against Kershaw in Dodger Stadium. This is the second time he's owned him, and I don't know. It's a gift.
It's a gift.
So,
Stan is 0-3 off Kazmir in his career with the strikeout. I know, not a big thing to go off of, but it's a little something.
Yep. Other than that, I like Martin Prado if he's in that 2-hole. Sitting in the they're sitting there at third base at 2.6K. Marcelo Ozuna is interesting as well. And then JT Real Muto at 2.4K. Those are all guys that are on my radar.
Yeah, that's probably going to be my catcher tonight, Real Muto, if he's in the lineup.
Okay. What about for the Dodgers going against Nicolino? We saw him start a couple games at the latter part of last year. Really highly touted prospect in the Marlins organization. Good pitcher's ballpark. This is a team that is kind of middle of the pack against left-handed pitching. He has faced them before, though.
Yeah, I was trying to pull those numbers up while you're talking. I mean, still Puig's been hitting the ball pretty well here lately, so I mean, I guess he could be in play. But even like a Kike Hernandez could work. Although I had him in Kendrick the other day. Woof. Did
Yeah,
not
the
work out.
Dodgers, the current Dodgers are 4 for 12 with a home run against them. But that home run was Scott Van Slyke. So and nobody had more than one hit against him.
Maybe we can go with Clay's brother here, Trace.
Yep, I like that. I don't mind that. Cheap outfield, 2.3K. So
yeah, probably about the extent of where I'm looking, but I don't know. What about? Let's go back to Stanton for a second. Are you on board with him tonight, or are you off him? Do you think the streak ends?
I think the streak ends, but I still think he has a good game. As far as home runs, I think the streak ends.
All right, fair enough.
So that might be the easy way to cop out of it, but you know, it's very hard to hit home runs in 4 straight games, and not everybody is Trevor Story. So
true story. What?
As far as the Dodgers are concerned, I like Kiki and Puig. I'm not rostering Justin Turner until he shows me that he can hit a ball again with authority consistently, which means I will miss his first hot streak of the year. But if that's the case, then so be it.
Yeah, maybe trim your beard so you don't look like the Wyndham Rewards wizard. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, no kidding. So, no kidding. Anything else from this game?
Nope, I'm done.
Awesome. Let's go to the final game of the night, Houston Astros and Seattle Mariners. Colin McHugh versus Hisashi Iwakuma. And here's my guy, Hisashi Iwakuma. I like me some Jack tonight.
All right. Any particular reason?
Yes, actually, there is. I am so glad you asked, sir. He's got a K percentage of 16.2, which isn't great, but his infield fly ball percentage is a 23.3. He's not allowing a lot of hard contact or a live drive rate. He's not walking guys, and the even better part is that the Astros are striking out at a 27.6% clip against right-handed pitching this year.
Oh my.
Any questions, class?
No. I'm not going to answer or ask any, but yeah, look, I don't mind that. You certainly got the ballpark in your favor. What's his face? Actually, Walker just shut them down the other night as well. So, yeah, I'm on board with that.
Awesome. Any Mariners bats you like?
You saw the Danny Werfel one. Nice.
Yes.
Not particularly. I know McHugh. You know, he's been all right in the past. Again, just ballpark. I'm not willing to pay up for a Cano or a Seager. I think we got some better options out there on the board. I've seen a guy atop the projections today, though. Leonis Martin. I don't know. The projections like him today, so.
Yep.
Have at it.
Absolutely. I actually kind of like Nelson Cruz a little bit. He's 4 for 11 with 2 home runs off of Colin McHugh. Does have 3 strikeouts, but that's an absurd 545 ISO against him. I don't even mind if you throw in McHugh as that, or sorry, not McHugh, Cruz as that lone spot in your lineup. So. All right, gong calls of the day. Who we got?
Oh boy. Sheesh. All right, so from the AL, you know that I am going to have to go with. I'm going to go with Evan Longoria tonight from the AL.
Okay.
And from the NL, at a place that is not Coors Field, I think it's going to have to be Neil Walker.
Ooh, very, very good.
2 infielders.
Alrighty, so from the AL tonight, I'm going to go with Adam Jones. I think he gets off the snide. And from the NL, I'm going to go with, out of Coors Field, Man. This one sucks a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll go with David Peralta. David Peralta.
That's where I was gonna go too.